All right, guys, so we're going to watch one of the videos from my Blender Octane 101 guide. It's a full course that I'm basically making to teach you how to use Blender Octane. For those of the members who are in the community, they get immediate access to videos as they're being released because I'm building the course as we go. So if you're interested in that, check the link down below. All right, next node will be the RGB color. Again, we go Shift A, we come down here to textures, RGB color, probably one of the most used nodes in the whole pack of nodes here. And it's pretty much taking the albedo and pulling it out as its own separate version here. Again, we go ahead and plug this in, and then we come on this and we can change to any color we want here. We have hex, so you can plug in a hex code, hue saturation values, or you can come in here and choose RGBs here, which is super nice. Also, what I like to do sometimes, if you're using the picker here, again, it works pretty much anywhere in the UI. It does not work if I drag off screen to a separate image here on my second monitor. It does not work. So what I like to do is just open up a new window, add in, go to your image type, image editor, and then just drag in an image here. And I've got this thing here I found on interweb. Click on here, and then you can easily choose the colors that you need for your project, which I find out to be really useful. So you can do it that way. Again, this is also works very nice when you do have a color. I kill the lights. You can take this here, add an emission node like we've done earlier, texture emission. Again, here's the same slot basically, but if you wanted to, for a little bit, you can just add this into here, add into here. Again, I can color pick one of these colors here, and there it is. This is the color, RGB color. All right, next we're going to look at the gradient generator. Pop this open here. If we come in, I'm just going to search it because I actually don't really know where this one is. I actually just search it all the time. So come in here, we're going to go to gradient generator. And first thing first here, again, we do see we have that same texture output as the albedo. So we're going to plug that straight in. And then right off the back here, this allows us to generate gradients. Now this is an extremely powerful node here. Again, a lot of options here. So we have our gradient types, which allows us to have a different type of gradient if we want to go from linear to ratio, angular, polygonal, and sphere. Okay, so again, we look down here, we have repetition, how many times this thing's going to repeat, pretty self-explanatory. Polygon sides, which only applies to certain ones that may have, I think angular might be one. Polygon sides, let's see what's up. Here you go. So there's our polygon sides. The gamma controls basically like the contrast of this gradient happening. We can invert it. Again, UV transform, add that on here, size it up. The projection, how we're going to be projecting this here. And then also our wraparound, which we've talked about earlier, how it's going to basically be. So this is an extremely powerful node here. Like it gives you just so many options. Now, like the way to add color into this would be to come in here and then probably add a gradient map, which we'll talk about a little bit later also. And this is more like a color ramp if you're familiar with cycles. And again, we can come in here, add some color. Again, we can play with these values here to crush these colors and things like that. And then this allows us to really start to dial in how we want to play with this basically. So you can see the options get pretty endless. Then this also can be added to other procedural materials. Pretty much anything that has that texture input, we can add that and also add this to those other materials. So it gets very endless on here. So there is the gradient generator. We'll talk about this one and the next one, the gradient map. All right, next we're going to talk about our gradient map because this is another commonly used node. If you were coming from cycles, this will be our color ramp node. And again, I did find out where these are placed. If you come down here to Octane texture, procedurals, and we have this massive list of procedural nodes that allow us to get procedural noises and different types of patterns. You will see here we have the gradient generator, which I talked about in previous video, and then we also do have our gradient map, which we're using here at the moment. Okay, our gradient map, we do have our knobs here, which allows us to control the position. Again, 0 being black, 1 being white, and this again allows us to slide that position over. You can also add these. You see here we have our RGB values because we can also change this to color. Grab up here again, if we want to use RGB, USC, whatever you want, you can change the colors there. If I come over here to the white side also, we can change these colors. Then we have our interpolation mode. Again, we can control how these colors will be blended with these different types of modes here, easing, and pretty much if you know B-spline, we can go consistent. Again, like here, you can even see it happening here. Okay, set that back to ease. You can see how it's reacting here. Then we also have, if you go here, these allow us to select between the two triangles here or our points here. And then this is just a value slider to control these if you want to get precise with the distance and things like that. All right, then we have our interpolation type. Again, here we have linear. This is where we can connect grayscales basically to change this if you wanted to do it. Here you see we have smooth, different types of modes, similar to how we had here. Then we have our interpolation color space. Right now it's set to physical, and then we also have this here, whatever it is, sorry. Then if we come down here, we have our input texture. And again, our input texture is also used for example, I have this noise texture here, and I bring this into our input texture. Now we can see the nodes and the colors are assigned to those values. Again, we can compress these to make them more contrast, flip them also, less contrast, we can spread them out. Again, also I have this connected to a noise texture, which we'll get into later on, but I can also control contrast through this node texture here, if you can see that too. So we'll get to that later. And I'm bring them pretty hard here. I also have this connected to a UV transform and a projection. Now also one thing compared to the cycles color ramp, this one we have a lot more control. Again, that is the theme of Octane, just more control. Here we have our start value. So I rarely play with these things here, but from what I've read, these helps us to basically set the starting value of our grayscale value at which the grayscale begins. So typically it would start at, 0. Well, in this case, we can change that starting value. So even if I have this here, I have this grayscale color here, and it's pretty much just a value from 0 to 1. And if I plug that into our start value, you can see that our start value is changed to 1 now. So here is our white, right? And vice versa, if I go back down here, here is 0. So I can shift that in between as far as a value where the white should start, where I'm basically remapping it, basically. And that's also the same with the in value here. Boom, there's 0. That's our in value. And then going to white, there is our beginning value. So you can see what that's doing. It's powerful. You got lots of options, right? Especially when you get into procedural type of textures and stuff, you can get very, very intricate. And then same with the 1, 2, 3 values here. Again, you can see I'm getting in between there and then changing these values. Same here again, changing these values. Now, these also change with the more nodes I add in, or noodles here, or little. So if I add in 2 more, you see now these values also come in here, and we can start to tweak on those. Now you can see here, I've got this little white edge on here. And again, we can come in here and start changing our colors on things, and things just get really, really advanced. So you can get extremely intricate here and start playing with these values. You can see here, if I zoom in here, we've got this little edge here happening, right? And if I pull that off, there it is. Okay. And then these positions, again, I think correlate to the position of these guys here. and there'll be different types of nodes we can plug in. So if you wanted to get into that, these again will be way more for advanced, more material making and procedural stuff like that. But it's good to know what these do, just so you guys can have an idea of what's going on with these nodes here. But pretty much I hardly ever get that intense on these. If I go ahead back to default, there it is. That's our default setup. And correction these values, which I kind of tend to use this a lot. So that is our gradient map node. If you guys want to watch more of these videos down below, check the link for my Blender Octane course. It's in my Blender Octane community. There you can get immediate access. And for the next 7 days, I'll knock $5 off. So jump on that, get in there, finish watching some more of these videos, and get access to the newest videos as soon as they are finished cooking from me. Patrick LeVar, catch you guys in the next one. Take a look at this video. Peace.